Welcome, everyone, to a very special episode of Backwater Bastard. This
Yes.
is a state of the podcast. We're calling it, are we?
Yes.
State of the podcast. We've just wrapped up. We've wrapped up a storyline, and we're gonna start. We're gonna have to start a new one. I mean, let's ruminate upon that a little bit.
We've been at war for a long time.
We have been at war for a long time.
Yeah.
We're missing a person.
War never ends.
We're missing our Herodotus, our Blaznak the swineherd. We are missing the Evan.
Yes.
Yes. That is
Helpevan.org.
Helpevan.org. Yeah. What's to say on it? The podcast has grown, and we've got to the point where we want to take it super serial and try and we record every week now. And it's just too much time commitment for Evan at this point. So
he's writing a dang book.
Yeah, he's got so many projects going on, but he'll be back to join us, for some one-offs every now and then.
I mean, Herodotus still has stories yet to be told in this world. I mean, we still got to hatch that egg.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yes,
That's the truth.
But yeah, we shall fight onwards. But
I mean, I'm amazed that the story worked out so well. I was like, hey, Herodotus, needs to sort of have an excuse to not be in every episode. Well, he's a king of his own.
He got what he wanted.
So he's got something going on.
Yeah,
I can't believe that like everything. Like you remember, like when we go right back to the beginnings of it, we're like Zarg, like literally we're just these guys that you just kind of met, and you were thinking, like, oh, maybe they could be like our private army. We could do something with that. And it sort of, it very quickly escalated into, oh, you guys have got a homeworld that needs saving.
which is a bit weird for our show because things don't tend to escalate that quickly when we play.
What?
So
Yeah, totally.
yeah, so that was very unexpected. But yes, Harry's got
that first meeting. That it was you were getting the new body from the renegade synths.
Yes,
and they'd been hired as mercenaries the same way you guys had been.
yeah. But
That's what you think.
I mean, obviously Evan isn't here to be able to speak on it, but I mean, even Blaznak and Ralaran had goals to be king and goals to be a champion of the realm, and I feel like Evan's characters have achieved that goal, which is a rare thing in tabletop adventuring sometimes to be able to actually do the thing that you set out
It's
for.
quite a lofty goal, and it's kind of a tricky one because, like if you want to sort of keep being an adventurer in like a Dungeons and Dragons style kind of campaign and doing things like being like a king, being a ruler, being in charge of armies and all that sort of thing, it really changes the kinds of play that are possible, and it's not something you just sort of want to hand out willy-nilly as a dungeon master. But
yeah, but I was very exciting, and I'm super pleased with how it's managed to end that storyline, and sad to see him go, but we continue on, and I kind of want to ask, but I'm hoping, are we going to go Midspace? Are we going to go back to Midspace?
I mean,
You
that's
can't ask.
I
You
wanna
can't
know.
ask.
what I was thinking.
Okay, well, I'm excited. But first of all, we're going to get through this bloody wall. That is going to be fun.
I mean, luckily you've got the reliable as ever Trevor
Yes, Trevor forever.
Trevor
to
forever.
pilot you through. So
It's like a religious thing.
Yeah.
the pilots of
Trevor
First
forever.
Air and
Trevor
now of Zarg Moon as well, which has been reclaimed.
forever.
They are the only ones who are able to pilot the wall. So that doesn't mean, of course, they're the only ones who can make it through without dying. Doesn't mean it's easy.
Oh, I'm excited to see what is in the wall, what we encounter on the way, how big it is.
I'm anticipating like quite a sort of like a Han Solo Star Warsy kind of thing of like like you're trying to escape, but then the Imperials are arriving, and it's like action
Yeah.
sequence. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Like
Because that's the thing, right? We had to leave when we did because there were, the man was moving in.
They're about to show up.
And if whoever's there when they seal it is probably going to be there for a minute.
Shanked. Yeah.
Probably they're about to start like taking inventory and printing IDs. We can't be on an ID. Cleo can't be on paper.
Tay, now that it's going to be back to Cleo and Zeo.
Zeo.
Um,
ZEO Speedwagon.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
I ship that.
I am trying to think now. Okay, so I'm in the jelly body. I've changed a few bodies now. Z has gone
You
from
have.
robotic to plastic bag to jelly boy.
We need an infographic.
And I've always thought I've got these energy blades and I'm not using them enough. I think Z is going to be a bit inspired by Bear Claw and want to get involved in the melee a bit. I think I want to maybe not respec, but maybe next time we go shopping, I want to try and tank myself up. I think Z might have a little bit of a, I'm sick of being on death's door. I'm gonna use these blades and I'm gonna put some armor on and I'm gonna join Cleo in the front lines of Bear Claw.
Shit.
Is where I'm feeling at the moment. It's
okay. I'm feeling it.
I mean, I feel like Z isn't dead half the time for lack of tanking, because he was tanking.
No.
He's half dead all the time because it's always fucking energy fields just tearing through him.
Yeah.
Almost every time.
Yeah. So I was thinking I'm going to try and find some armor, and maybe armor up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, Z is just glass cannon, isn't he? Just I'm going to do this thing or I'm not. It's going to kill me. So yeah.
I've just found a picture of a weapon.
Yes.
This is called 10-inch Chinese.
Fuck. I mean,
old bronze claw weapon.
Yes.
And you can actually buy this. These are on AliExpress, apparently, is where the link goes. Oh, it's no longer available.
Oh, that's horrible looking.
It is really something.
These look like metal bear claws that you put on your hands.
And I would love to watch a real fight with these.
Oh, I would not want to watch that fight.
I would love to watch it because...
I mean, if you were trying to fight someone who even just had a baseball bat or a stick or something, you'd be screwed.
Yeah, you have to get real close.
No, it's both also people have to have this.
With these swipes, how much energy can you actually put into each of those? Because you're just going to break your fingers, aren't you?
No, not
this
into
is
it.
out of
punching
control.
People.
This is out of control, and I
does
love
remind
that
me
about
of
it.
the hardcore pit, being
That
in
really
the pit.
does not strike me as something you could.
You see the people doing
with.
the cat claws in the middle of the pit. Being
I don't remember that specific move, but
that was a good Hamilton move. You'd see it quite a bit.
the
I
cat
don't know.
claw.
I was never privy to the cat claw.
The claw? Oh,
was that Dan?
maybe
was
I need to
that
beep-
something that you did?
maybe I need to beep her name out, but used to do it a lot.
I remember.
Yeah, she used to get
rhymes.
right in the middle and then just be like, and she'd have really long nails and be like, fuck.
Oh my god!
Yeah, you don't want to fuck with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably hurt more than the people
Oh yeah,
flapping
if
their
that
arms.
got caught on a denim jacket and broke a nail, that would fucking suck. But anyway, look cool.
I mean,
look really
the
cool.
silliest I think was always people doing full blown roundhouse kicks. It's you're gonna fucking kick someone in the face.
I kicked I kicked
properly.
a lot of people in the balls. Just
I got
because
kicked in the face
your
once.
half roundhouse.
the half roundhouse kick, I could never get the height, so I'd always end up kicking someone in the nuts and being like, "Whoops, sorry." Well, also not sorry because I'm a hardcore kid.
Yeah. If you can't take the heat, get out of the pit.
Yeah.
Oh, look at these small children that don't know the rules yet. Better kick them until they get it.
I love bleeding out my nose after I've been hit in the face by my friends. It's just...
That was definitely the best part.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry, state of the podcast. So, we continue to be here. We're going to be releasing every Thursday still, and we're still trucking along. We still have all the hopes and goals of before.
Except
what else to say.
I'm Googling weapons right now. But it's okay, we have finally come to the end of this massive arc. I mean, this has been how many months has it taken at this point? Because it was the planning of it, and then it was the getting the team together and
making the t-shirts
and the traveling to get there, and then all the different meeting people that we had to do. We had to meet so many different kinds of people just to do this.
Just to have Dick screw us over with his dick magic and be like, "Well, they knew you were here all along." So
yeah, and then we got dick magic, and honestly, some of the most extreme twists that I think we've ever had in 3 years of doing this happened in this arc. The poisoning was real.
The poisoning. Jeez.
Because Dick and I had to have a side conversation about what are we going to do if Cleo dies.
Really?
Yes.
How'd that conversation go?
I mean, it was maybe going to happen, wasn't it?
I was okay with it. We had talked it through and what we could do, what were the options. And
I had no idea.
And it was really kind of cool. We had a plan. I don't know if we should even fucking say it.
No, I want to hear.
Nah, it's too early to say that plan.
Oh, okay. All right.
But there was a plan. Like, so
we could maybe like, keep this, like, oh, remember how we talked about there was a plan? Well, like after we've done like maybe the Cleo origin story and stuff, we could
okay.
So we can reveal it. But
we'll come back to it, listener.
But that's the thing. Like, while we recorded that, like I was thinking,
crying?
like, are we gonna like, are we gonna have to launch the plan?
Yeah.
And we didn't have to, because there have been so many times where we got like we were just about to die, and I mean, miraculously we have made it. And
there have been some close calls.
Especially just recently. I mean, because then we had that, and then we, came out of it. We lost. Someone died.
Oh, I know.
We had a real death on our team, Effie.
Yeah, Effie.
That was wild. Like,
it was.
That feels more real than any fucking other like NPC death we've had. Like that was like
that was
character,
super
like,
real.
That literally there'd been like one of the few Zargians that would have like actual bonding moments with and stuff, and like a little bit of an arc of like whether or not she liked Cleo and like.
Oh my!
And that took a while too, because like that was a thing that we were sorting out, like on New Terra, even that.
Oh, New Terra feels so long ago. The getting drunk in Belgo's funhouse and
do you remember like how good that felt to like get out of the airport and then party
especially during
in,
this
like,
lockdown
a hotel?
as well. It's been it was so good.
That was part of this. Wasn't it like getting fucking like through airport security, having the party, and then having the dude where's my car moment of like trying to work out what happened.
I
the
feel
night
like
before.
that's some of the best fun I've had like in ages.
Yeah, I needed that through
like,
this lockdown. But
I mean, like that was like therapy when we got out of the airport and we got to party. I felt like I really went. I was there.
I was there with you. I was like, hey,
that was real. We were the only people on the entire planet at a party.
Yeah, put some magnets to our heads along with
that
Z1.
Was us. We were magneting out Z twins.
Yeah,
look at all the characters. Like I wish I had like a thing I could like tick off right now, because we met like so many.
Eric Rhodes pointed out, because I think he messaged both of us in the chat, or maybe he messaged me in the chat. And he asked at one point, like, I'm playing, this was like a year ago, and he was like, I'm playing in a group. How do you, because he was asking specifically about Hakes stealing money from Baron.
Oh,
and he was saying, like, how do you get through that and not, like, get upset? And I'm like, yeah, but that's just my character with Hakes. Like, it's not an actual, like,
she's not
beef.
really
She's
stolen
not really
money
stolen
from me.
my money.
Like, character conflict, if it's like, like, we're both continuing it for fun and for the story of it, can be a wonderful thing. It doesn't have to be an actual conflict between people.
But the difference there is as well that, like, Hakes continued to yes and. Yes, there was this secret that she had stolen my gold. But then when we got to the tavern, she was like, oh, I'll buy a drink. And I'm like, thank you. Like, so it was, it didn't stop me from doing anything. Like, Hakes, it was just fun.
Hakes was not, like, if we were using some sort of an alignment table.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I play a lot of my characters. I intend to play them from, like, a more neutral standpoint.
Yeah.
But I usually end up trying to go one way or the other. And I feel like Hakes was, like, a little more of a survivalist, and that she was kind of shitty sometimes.
Oh, Hakes was brilliant. I mean, you needed that in contrast with...
Like, she had to be bad sometimes for her to be interesting, I think. But Cleo, I don't feel like Cleo does that. I feel like I tried to go the opposite direction, and I probably didn't. I mean, I feel like there are things that I don't do with Cleo that I did with Hakes.
Well,
like, I don't...
not as much looting.
Yeah, but Cleo is like a collector of shit.
She wasn't looting like a video game character, though. She was looting like she wanted shinies. And it's a very important distinction. Because, like, people, like, get obsessed with the loot in terms of, like, like, min-maxing their character and, like, being as tough as possible, which isn't how the real world works anyway.
No.
Like, if you were, like, literally one of these people, like, you would want nice things. You wouldn't want fucking, like, plus 10 broadswords. I mean, obviously, no one's going to say no to it, but, like,
right.
It's about having those priorities of this fictional person, this character, like, firmly in your head and be like, like, as long as you're doing that, like, it usually works out, I think.
But it is important, right? It's like Z. Yeah. Like, Z was a part of a collective and chose to not be. And I feel like Hakes was more like that, whereas Cleo was a part of a collective and maybe didn't want to leave the collective necessarily.
Yeah, Cleo at the moment seems to be all about like getting a little gang and a community together and then just being like the...
And I mean, I feel like that's maybe not necessarily like intelligent character building. It might just be me. Like, I want to be in a little
like
group.
Cleo is so different to Hakes in that she is fast friends with people. Like
Hakes was not friendly.
Hakes was suspicious.
Yes, all the time.
Yeah.
Hakes was super suspicious. I mean, that's almost like a player arc for me. Like, you start playing and you're like, how are you trying to screw me?
Yeah.
Where's the like, what magic? What are you gonna make me do?
Yeah.
Or like, how do I need to be on my guard about this? But then Cleo is like, nope, I'm okay. I'm in a place where I'm sorted and I have like my own agency, and like, this is more about me experiencing the world, not like the world happening to me. I don't know.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's always interesting talking about like what we've learned from playing these games. Yeah, we have. Yeah,
we did. Yeah. I definitely feel like we learned a lot of stuff. I mean, this is now like, because we celebrated Orbital Refuse's birthday on April 1.
Right. Yeah.
Of this year. So Orbital Refuse as a thing that we've been doing is a year old, and now it's, almost June. So, obviously not that long. Like, it feels like it's been a long time.
Feels like a long time, and it's still like, I mean, this is, a lot's happened.
But yeah, we can now safely say that Orbital Refuse is over a year old.
Woohoo!
And that's
going into a brand new era. Like, we're really, like, we don't have a lot of loose ends left. There's obviously bits and pieces, but like, there's nothing, I think, that constitutes like an obvious next step, which I'm quite looking forward to as well, because it means we can kind of organically
we could set a heading,
find the storyline as well. We've got I feel like we have maybe a few sort of a few episodes where just individual things happen, and I'll see where you guys actually, where you try to get to.
I mean, I know we've spoken on that before as well, but it is my favorite part about how we play this game is it's Seinfeld. It's just a day-to-day of like things, and there are things that happen in the background.
That's my favorite.
There's not a kind of urgency of like, we've got to do this. I mean, Harry definitely had an urgency for sure with like his desire to be king. But
even then, it wasn't like he didn't need to become king to save the world. It wasn't like this obvious, heroic mission. It was literally more like sort of wishful thinking that just by circumstance and, maybe a tiny bit of plot contrivance, became reality.
Yeah.
I don't know if Z and Cleo have stuff like that, or if we
just get fancy outfits.
For Cleo, like, I don't know right now at this moment, because when I started Cleo, I had an idea of maybe what her motivation as a character was. And now I feel like I've played her for a year, and I don't know that it's the same. Like, I maybe see her differently than I did now. So
I still feel like because of the prison episodes that we did, that's still like dictating to me like the purpose, where like me being a Capricorn struggling to say emotional things, but like, I mean, Z is just friends with Cleo, and Z just wants to make sure that Cleo's all good, and doesn't want to save everyone, doesn't want to like look after everyone. I mean, there was Z twin that really wanted to be friends, and I'm like, no, fuck off, I already got a friend, bugger off, like just like we do missions and we're fucking bastards about it, and we get paid, and then we go and eat food and put hats on. That's what we do.
It's so big though, isn't it? It feels so much bigger now to be like, oh my God, the goal is to go somewhere where we can have food and like get a drink and shop and like try hats on and buy some like souvenirs, and then like
and because
have
of
a weird
hilarious as well, because like sometimes that stuff is like the most boring, useless stuff in a tabletop game.
I love
as well.
it so
like
much.
If it's not done right, if it's like literally just like people sort of like pouring through like a list of things they could buy and umming and eyeing it, rather than it being like a storytelling device in of itself.
That's like the best thing.
I think we do it really well.
They're my favorite parts of our tabletop experience together, is those moments. I love them. I mean,
I feel like it's because I want that in my real life too, though. Like, isn't that the best shit when you're like with people and you can just like go around and look at stuff and not have like a thing that you have to do? You're like just like having a drink.
Jelly capsules became such a very important thing.
Oh yeah.
That was just from some shopping episodes. So it was really, really good fun.
Oh my God. And we bought the rover.
We got the rover. You've got a pterodactyl. That needs...
Oh my God, this whole time, Jordan.
Jordan has been there not being used. Jordan needs to get used now.
Jordan's been in the ship.
Taking
Jordan's
him out in that fight and the space battle
would have been stupid.
that just happened would have been a bad idea.
Yeah.
That's definitely
I'm glad we
reckless
didn't do
endangerment
that.
of an animal.
Oh my
But,
God.
like,
Okay, it's fine. Reese has been feeding him tomatoes, remember?
I mean, I'm also tempted to try and get Reese a shell robot that Reese can inhabit with us outside of the ship. So that Reese can come with us, you know? And
That
do-
doesn't
extra
seem
work in
very
my-
hard.
in
I know, I'm
on
looking
my
at Dick's,
shoulders by
looking
doing
at
that.
Dick's face being like, no, stop.
Dick's like, I don't
love
wanna-
having like friendly NPC characters to control, but I hate having to control them all the time.
Yes, fair enough. I mean, Boris is with us. I love Boris. Boris is great.
But like Boris again, like he's not a fighter, which makes sense. You can like leave him behind places sometimes to
Right.
do something of his own. I try and like that's why like Zarg has been like, I've really enjoyed playing with him and having the characters available, but it is so much
it's
extra
like
work controlling
19
both
people
sides
that
of
you
the
have to
fight.
be.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Well,
that
okay,
has
maybe
been really...
I won't force that to happen, but it is something that I'm constantly like, oh, Reese is brilliant. I do want to have Reese like a colorful robot following us around, you know, being a bit like naive.
Well, we just
and
have to have more episodes
curious.
set on board the ship, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember, like, from the really early, like, I think it's from the pilot, the old lady at the cart rental?
Yes, she was so brilliant.
Do you remember
Oh,
her?
I've got her name
him.
written down.
Good
somewhere.
for him. Yeah, good for him.
Yes, leader of a resistance, don't you know? Apparently very important. Look at us, big shots. Yes.
And I'm the king of Potato Land.
And I'm just a jellyfish in a bowl.
We're all somebody important today.
As you come back to the Speedster rental port, she looks over the thing very cursorily, like making sure there's no major damage being done to it. It's like, I guess you'll be wanting your deposit back then.
Yeah, I would say. Look how nice. It's even cleaner now. Almost. It's almost like it's even nicer than when we got it.
Look, we didn't even need to use it.
But I don't want to know anything about your dealings. We ask no questions here.
No, you should know. This man is apparently a resistance leader. It's very important.
She looks down at the darks for a little while, sort of inspecting him, like moving her glasses up her nose, like,
Good for him.
That is like, can we just crystallize that moment as like whatever your weird little thing is and you tell like your mom?
This is so funny. I love how he's not getting any respect anywhere. Just getting shat on, and he thinks he's so important and he's going to die a glorious death, but he's just... Oh, this is great. That was the best response, Dick. Good for him.
Ricky, you should be somebody's like old shitty mom someday.
well, you never know.
Maybe I already am. Good for him.
Good for him. We should make that to a t-shirt. Good for him.
Good for him. I just like, I can't believe that was the
Big
very, very,
Pat.
very first
Oh,
thing
good
we
for
ever
him.
did.
Pat,
She was
that's her name,
great.
yeah.
Big Pat.
I loved her voice.
Good for him. The way that you said it was
I
just
would
so
love
like,
it.
Yeah, maybe going back to Midspace
love it.
stations, you might run into Pat again.
Yeah.
oh my God, it's going to be Big Pat time. I'm so excited.
I don't know if I
just-
remember your voice.
Good for him.
Good
for him.
you.
Yeah, something like this, yeah.
Was it like that?
It was like, it was because I listened to
I
it
don't
recently.
Yeah. That,
And we were
that.
making
Good for
jokes
him.
about
Was it
how
like
she's
this?
the old lady from Monsters Inc. Like, what is that
I'm
one's
just
name?
thinking,
Roz
I mean, I
or
know I've done it a
something.
lot, but I really am thinking, like, how can I redesign Z's body? Like, I really feel the need to go sharpen and to get. I mean, what about you, Cleo? Would you want to, like, get some new armor, change your look a little bit or anything? Or are you happy with.
I don't know. I haven't even thought about like
Just-
this whole time
Yeah,
we've been
exactly.
so busy trying not to die again. Like
I know.
we have been on the edge of
Yeah.
death. I mean, we've gotten arrested.
We've been zapped, we've been
We've
shot,
been
we've been
like
stabbed.
bombed and shot at.
poisoned.
We've been poisoned. We've been captured.
Yeah.
We've been under siege.
I mean,
We've-
Dr. Z has lost a fair portion of the Honey Boy as well to various things.
I want to add a robotic attachment because I want to
Yeah.
have some some. I don't know. I'm just thinking like visually in my mind how it changes. It looks
A CD player.
Yeah.
What about if you had like sort of like a rope, like like basically just two legs with like almost like an egg cup,
and then that
the honey
is
boy
sounding
sits on
great.
top?
I'm also thinking to go back to the ball design and put the honey in the ball type shape around that and then put the.
But do you have legs, or do you upgrade to like a jetpack booster on your bottom half so that you can fly?
And then I can follow you around, like hovering right next to you to the side.
Yeah. And then you
That would
don't
be
get
very
in. Maybe
cool.
you're safer
That is
that
pretty
way.
cool design.
Because then you can fly. Like, think of how that opens up like opportunity for movement and fight, like as a fighting
I
technique.
do want to, as I said at the start, I really want to try and use energy blades more. I've been like thinking like, because Baron Debauch was a coward and didn't do much fighting, and then
But this thing that I put in the chat,
yes, something like this could be
look
cool.
at this energy blade.
I mean, what you could do is you could, rather
Like
than
a
going
Protoss
full,
one
going
from
tank, you
StarCraft.
could get like a stealth unit, and then you could
I
stealth
could bring
in
back Frankie
and
the
just fucking
Snake.
slit people's throats with them and
Could
shit.
fucking Frankie the Snake this shit.
Because and as well, like maybe like
Baby
you buy like
Baby oil.
buy a used stealth unit off
Fuck
Crispy
yeah.
because like that's what they're all about. Like,
Oh my god.
Oh well, then if
Crispy. I'm excited to have like a catch up with Crispy because we didn't get to really talk to him.
I want to definitely catch up.
and
with
I
Crispy.
feel like that's coming.
well, I feel like if anyone is going to be able to sneak out of the blockade, it's going to be Crispy and his
It
guys.
is 100%. It's Crispy.
Because
oh my god.
they're just always like vroom, appearing exactly where they need to be. Like, yeah, we were here.
You know what I just realized that's kind of nuts? The people, the dirt farm or the bootleggers from Dias that showed up in the plentiful pantry at the very end. They don't even probably realize that they're about to get sealed
showed up
in.
just to get put in prison.
And like, what did they leave? Like, are they like supposed to go home? Like, how many of them came? And like, how important are they to Dias? Like, what does that mean? Like, it's like we've just taken a species from somewhere and implanted it somewhere else. And like, now what's going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, they really weren't supposed to.
They weren't
end up
supposed
there,
to.
probably.
They weren't. And now they're stuck.
But I mean, they did agree, like they, we want to take out the Imperials and take over stuff, and like that's exactly what Harry's doing now. So they've joined the side that they're on.
chose
at
this.
least.
Okay, well, I just realized. Yeah, that's the ultimate. Like, you know what? Don't worry about it. They picked this out, and it's their fault.
So what else can we say about
But yeah, I think like like next step, I feel like we want to touch base with Midspace Station again. Yeah, like get in touch with our roots.
We really didn't get to spend. Honestly, I feel like the most time we spent at Midspace was like in the pilot.
Yeah.
Well, I imagined you would spend more time, but then the plot went the way it did because I didn't realize that you guys would think. It's often I just don't imagine these things until they happen and then they're really obvious. Like,
Right.
We can't give this egg to this person that's going to be raised as a criminal. We have to take it and keep it safe
And raise it as a criminal our way.
Not in my wildest dreams did I imagine that would happen. But like as soon as you do that, it's like, well, that
we dig magic dick.
that changes the story. Like now,
Yeah. What's it called
now
when
you
we
guys
do
have got
it?
to flee. You got to flee because the person who fucking runs this town is
Oh
is
my
after you.
god. So we have been doing this for a year and we've looked at where it started and we've looked at a few of the arcs and how we've evolved. But what are we going to do now? I mean, like that was the first season, the first iteration of Orbital Refuse and we're
Season
not
1.
done.
Yeah.
I feel like we're just getting started.
I feel like that as well.
I feel like
Well, it's
we've
interesting 'cause,
barely
like,
touched on stuff.
This is really like the backstory
Zian-
to the real story.
Well, Z and Cleo, like they have pretty humble desires.
Yeah.
So like I feel like the next thing they get tied up in, the next sort of big overarching thing they get tied up in is gonna be kind of accidental. Like it might be almost like sort of like like harkening
probably.
back to our Dungeons and Dragons days where that team of bastards were always involved in the biggest events in history, but they never realized it and they were always like,
Yeah,
like
I love
ignoring the
that.
important
I did
the
enjoy
important
it a lot.
information.
That was a cool way to be in a thing without having to be like,
Yeah. Don't you want to know the mission's details? No. Don't worry. We'll figure it out. It's just like-
I still
Classic
can't
bastard.
like, yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
But
mean,
I have a
there's so much
scroll
stuff
and
I
a-
want to know
yeah.
too. Like,
Yeah.
because I want to know like there were moments where we got snippets of something and I was like, I wish we could just stop what we were doing and just get the story. Like, I feel like there's so much story about the original Reese.
Oh, yeah. That was seeing Reese's statue in the middle of New Terra.
When I finally put all that together, which took me a minute because I actually felt like I was the person in the taxi, like speeding through a town I'd never been in. And I'm like, wait. There's a lot here. Like, there's a story here. There's probably something weird and screwed up. And like, there's probably there's probably like an entire saga.
Yeah.
Well, we got like a little tiny bit more of that in the last episode with the Emperor telling Herodotus, the lineage of the ovum.
Which, I mean, there's that too. And and it's time maybe for origin stories, which is huge for us.
Origin story.
Yeah.
Well, like if you are going back to Midspace Station, you are going to have to fucking deal with Princess Zuzu. So that
and
could be an
Deets.
opportunity to
Deets is the worry. Yeah.
And there's like so many people that we've like inadvertently
because
upset.
Princess Zuzu really wanted the egg, but other than that, you didn't screw her. Deets, you kind of like removed
it took his
some
arm,
of his
so,
body parts.
yeah.
You know?
Maybe he'll be cool though, because like, it's business, man. Or not. We'll find out, I guess.
I am excited for what you just briefly mentioned there, Tay. Origin stories.
Origins are big for us because in our last campaign, we didn't.
I think one of our most successful stories was Hake's Day.
I don't know that we set out to do that.
All the origin ones, they were always like filler episodes because someone couldn't make it or whatever. Like they were always like, let's just do an origin story.
That was our go-to. Like somebody
that's
couldn't
how
be
they
there.
started. They started like that, but they ended up being, just the best
Origins. But I mean, I have to say, like, I think that the origin, that's the thing, is we discover shit completely on accident.
Yeah.
And that's how our shit gets made. Because Cleo was born out of an experiment. So, like, Backwater bystanders, that was just a one-time segment where, like, I did that one character and I was like, that was so much fun.
It's like the weird, like, southern kobold.
Yes, the like redneck kobold. And then I was like, oh my God. And that was like,
save that.
When we made this, I was like, I know what Cleo's going to be. I knew immediately.
Yeah.
And that was a mistake almost. And the origin stories maybe are kind of like, I think the thing that changed how I will build a character forever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and we don't spend a lot of time writing backstories for our characters
because
at
of
all.
that.
Because we like to learn things about each other and ourselves through the game rather than like go into something with here's my backstory, which is great. And I'm not knocking anyone who plays that way.
I think writing a certain amount of backstory is like always a given and a good idea.
Like you need to have an idea of what it is.
Sort of key stuff in place for all the characters.
Like there's a couple sentences of shit.
But I will say I've got paragraphs, not pages, like it's.
Well,
because
I know
a big mistake a lot of people make when they do the pages is they make all the coolest things that have happened in this character's history in the past.
Yeah.
That means that when you're playing the game, you're suddenly doing way dumber shit than what apparently you were up to last year.
Right.
And it's like, I feel like that's a mistake.
Yeah.
That's a good point. It's hard to look at it that way because when you think, who do I want to be?
Yeah.
It's hard to not pick that. You want to be
it should be
like,
who do I want to become?
Yeah, but we're already doing that. Who am I going to be next week? Like, I don't want to know. I want to be I want to be a badass tonight.
Yeah, but hey, I'm just like I'm looking forward to the origin stories.
The origin stories taught me not to focus like that, and I think that's the coolest shit because, like, man, did we develop doing that stuff? And I mean, we've now been playing for a year. And I still don't know for sure, like who Cleo, like what does she want? Like what should the real motivation be? And like when I made her, I thought maybe it was something else, and now I'm not sure. And I feel like if I had decided that stuff before I had gotten a year to settle in, like I don't know who she would be. Like
might be a bit attached to it and not be able to let up on those ideas and want to be like, well, no, I've already decided that this is this.
And it's so big.
No, completely.
And I think that is like the entire core of Cleo.
And we're gonna find out with some origin stories. And
Hell yeah.
I cannot
I'm so
wait
excited.
for that.
I'm so excited. But Cleo couldn't exist if Hakes hadn't been before.
Yeah.
And I think that Z is like that too. I don't think Z could be Z if it hadn't been for the entire compendium of the Baron's adventures.
Oh, yeah.
Z is the evolved Baron.
Z is evolved Baron, yeah. Z is less useless
but not
Baron.
in like a recycled way. Like Z, you can
Z
see
is completely different to the Baron. Like he's got sort of a similar voice, maybe, and a similar sort of like squeamishness sometimes about things.
But like the lessons of the Baron were put into the foundation of building Z. Like you as a person that plays couldn't have made Z if you hadn't been the Baron first. And I mean, like,
well, that was the thing. I mean, I think it was such a valuable thing playing valuable for role playing, playing a coward, that didn't want to fight, but that also just wanted to get drunk and kind of, I guess, tell lies about how great the Baron was.
Just a character that's like, not necessarily like min-max. Like it's not about being the toughest, but
it was just trying to have the most fun.
He's very, very good at certain things. I
don't know. That taught me a lot about character creation too, though, because I feel like the Baron was one of the most compelling characters that we ever interacted with. Like the stuff that he did was so cool. Like the broken bottles move was so tailored. Like, and he had so many like. A lot of the things that I remember from the game, like the visuals, are Baron things.
Us feather falling down into the sea of zombies on the desert, all reaching up for us, and then Baron like, oh my god, get away! Just kick away, and floating down. Or we're in the barrel being shot over the wall, or
there was a lot of like crazy like we'll just cast Featherfall and like defy physics for a while. Featherfall was a very useful spell to have.
Featherfall will put off the inevitable death for a little bit longer.
And some things that aren't helpful are acid splash, jump.
Acid splash
jump was great.
Anyway,
jump was great.
It's a cantrip.
And don't get comprehend.
I'm gonna jump through the desert.
Don't get comprehend languages. What else? I don't think I used that one time.
The problem with comprehend languages is that like
it's more DM work.
It is.
It's just like it isn't necessary because I could just say, oh, they're speaking in their language which you don't understand,
right?
And then force you to use it. But like it's basically just saying like, okay, like if you don't have comprehend languages, then it has to be a plot point. It's got to be like you can't understand these people and you're never going to. If you do have comprehend languages, it's literally just me like catering to that one wizard that took the spell, like which actually is worth doing because it makes people feel more valuable. But like it's hard to remember that like it's a thing that you can do.
Yeah.
But other exciting news for us moving forward is our pre-game rambles are going to have a bit of a shake-up, bit of a change.
Yeah.
They will still be patron exclusives, but for, I don't know, a few months, month or two, there will be, early access for the patrons, and then they'll be released on their own channel, still Backwater Bastards. We're thinking sidearm. Backwater Bastards sidearm will be our extra podcast that has all of the extra stuff, like our pre-game rambles, which may also have a name change. But that's all going to go on sidearm. And so, if you're out there and you're listening and you're supporting our show, thank you so much. I mean, you do that just from listening. But and if you are a patron, then thank you as well. That helps us. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
No, it was good. It was good. Like if you're listening to the show at all, that's the first biggest thing. I mean, like if you don't listen, then why are we doing it?
No, it's amazing. And we just we want to say thank you to our supporters on Patreon. So early access there. But we also really want to be able to share everything that we make with all of you. And you support us. You've been here on this journey with us, and so it will still be special.
It's gonna we're gonna keep doing everything that we're doing, but everything that we're doing is gonna get bigger. So it is gonna be the ramble, but it's gonna be way bigger. We're gonna do more stuff, segments, more content. We're gonna try out one of those ideas in a minute. And the actual show is going to get bigger too. We want to do collaborations. We want to, pick into pieces of the world building and the story that we just haven't been able to. And we want to do these origin stories to their fullest. I mean, who knows how big. We want to dive back into Z, into Cleo. I mean, like, who knows what else we could do an origin on? Maybe Reese gets an origin. Who knows?
Yeah.
It,
Hey,
you know,
if you let us know on Discord what you want to hear. But we've got a bunch of
we can even do a Boris origin, but that might not be that exciting.
Yeah.
well,
I don't know.
you thought
Boris-
that when you
now that I've
created
said that,
Boris
people
that we
were gonna
wouldn't
ask
want
me.
him, and
Yeah.
look at where we are now. But
I love Boris.
Dick is like, no.
I
I
gave
mean,
him
like-
such a dumb voice.
I have to do that voice for an entire episode. No.
But you know, when we do origins, there's like 4 episodes. So
Exactly.
Be careful. Be careful.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not even the end of it. Like, Bangamans is going to come back. The Bangamans charity bowling tournament is going to happen again because now we want to do that every year, right? And
Make sure you head over and thank Hey Guys, It's Nicole for that because,
come find her in the Discord and preemptively thank her because it's huge and whoa, it's going to be, it's going to be bigger. We can't do anything the same size a year later.
No.
We got to make it bigger. So
make it bigger.
that'll be back. And I mean, even just that, we'll have to revisit Bangamans at some point in the story because we obviously
need more merch.
like it. We need more merch. And I would personally like to visit, what is it, Ball's Foo House?
Yeah. Belgos.
No, Ball's Foo House.
Ball's Foo House. Yeah, you're right.
Ball's Foo House.
I know that it's like, maybe it's redundant, and if anybody hates this idea, please feel free to personally email us at backwaterbastards@gmail.com, all of the hate. But I would like to have another party episode.
Yeah, we need it.
It is 2021, it is almost June, and I've still not partied in my real life. And I would then like to have a fake party again.
Yes, let's do it.
But yeah, I don't know. There's so much stuff. I feel like we haven't even flipped the iceberg.
Yeah, and there's so many just parts of this galaxy that are completely unexplored as well.
God, yeah. Dick's got a
I'm
map,
excited.
y'all.
I've got a map.
I
so I'm
am
gonna look at it.
excited.
Dick is a map.
Yeah, Dick map.
Dick map.
Yeah.
Trademark.
I mean, technically, you have spent time in all of the different worlds now, at least.
But I mean, barely. We barely touched Midspace.
I know.
It's true.
I want to explore
But
Midspace.
Midspace is
And
Midspace
that was
isn't really
like-
a nation state, though, is it? It is just
Yeah,
it's
true.
the unclaimed territories.
I just
so
love the idea of just a huge station filled with all of the scum, all of the people, all of the
Yeah.
good
Built around a
intentions, all the
core
bad
of literal
intentions,
trash.
just there, and
That was like the whole brand of the
Exactly.
adventure in the beginning.
We started
you know?
out with like Alberta Refuse will be based on the station, built
This
on
trash
trash,
station.
and then like episode 2, bye.
I mean, we did spend time in the sort of the mid-space area, though, like Garcia
did.
Station.
Yes, yeah.
And when we went to meet Hans, the space dragon,
Space
Yeah.
Dragon, oh Hans,
he
Yeah.
was in the realm of that, I think.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, technically, like, if you think of any other story, I mean, like, you could pick, like, one world and do your entire campaign just there. Isn't that what normal people do?
yeah.
I don't know. I think like the point of having like a space setting and having your own ship is that you can just fly from
Yeah.
planet to
Well, I
planet.
mean,
Well,
space, you know.
I do like that aspect as well. I mean, I think like sticking around somewhere for a while is well worth it though. But yeah, like you've spent way more time on like New Terra and Zarg Moon and
Than
Garcia
Midspace, yeah.
than Midspace. So like, you know,
We did spend a lot of time at Garcia Station.
there's much more to be scratched of that surface.
Oh my God, Garcia Station, there were snacks. I bought a car there, kind of illegally.
Got some hats.
The jelly capsules.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to go back there.
We need to go back.
And just this Cleo's full outfit with this parachute that she's still not used.
Yeah, the
Not yet.
parachute.
Yeah.
It's like there have been so many times where I
One
probably
day
should
she's
have
just
used
gonna
it.
like push the button because someone's on her back and she needs to get them off.
Yeah.
Oh shit. That's it. That's the way. But yeah.
We go.
But thanks everyone. That's the state of the show, state of the podcast, where we're currently at, and
We're alive and kicking.
Yeah, we're gonna be back next week with stuff.
With some playing.
With
We're
some
gonna
playing.
play.
We'll be back.
gonna
I think
play.
next week, right? We'll record this week sometime. Yeah.
I mean,
Yes, I mean
When we talk about
when we
that-
say next week, like for
What
us,
does
it's
that
in 2
even
weeks.
mean?
It's even the following week, but
Yes.
like it's always going to be next week
Who
for the
knows?
listener because
Time
they're,
is not
they're
linear.
listening to this.
Yeah.
They're listening to this whenever it comes out.
Yeah. So
and we will never know.
We'll be back next week.
Yeah, so thank you.
Yeah.
And cheers for supporting us this far with your air holes and any energy credits that you've thrown our way. Much appreciated, especially any fan arts.
Yeah.
Like, always blown away by everyone's
And your
talent
thoughts.
and skill.
If you have a
Yes,
thought,
and your thoughts.
please tell us. We love it. We've made so many
I
friends
love
doing this.
thoughts, especially like that. I know the questions and musings about things like plot and character related. That's always really interesting to hear because like I never have any idea how we come off until people say these things. It's like, that's cool.
Yeah, really, really, really great.
That's been the best part is being able, because the first campaign, we didn't really have like a lot of connection to the outside listener base when we did this. It was people we knew that were already listening, and now people that we've never met are listening, and sometimes we get to meet you, and it is like the most.
And I'm very grateful because I
mind-bending.
definitely would count some of those people as friends now as well, and it's just amazing.
I never knew I would make friends from just all over.
I know,
literally.
it's crazy. It is wild and it feels amazing. And thank you, everyone.
It's like it sounds like a drama, but it's kind of life changing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You meet people that you never expected to meet, and you've made this thing, and in a way, it's like we've made it with all of you.
I know. Exactly. Yeah, that's 100%.
Because I get ideas from people, and stuff that people say to me maybe affects the way I perceive how a thing happened and how I move forward. And this is definitely the biggest shared project I've ever worked on, because
making me feel emotions, and that's weird.
I know. So
we're going to wrap up the episode
That's
then
pretty
before
gross.
Dan feels something.
I know. I don't like it.
We actually can't have that. That's in his contract. He is a tech writer, and it says the minute that a feeling happens, I'm bye.
I need to go.
Pull the cord.
Let me put the robot voice on, and then I can hide.
So you know what? Actually, that's great timing, because it's actually time for us to do something really important, and that is to heckle a really beautiful piece of work by Ron Howard.
Yeah, we're going to go and sit in the cinema now and start recording the first of the new Sidearm show.
Yeah.
You get to look forward. Please look forward to it.
Please
going to be fun.
To it. Please clap.
Please like it.
But regardless, thanks for listening to us ramble on about our podcast and releasing it cheekily and calling it an episode of a podcast.
Yeah, I know. Cheeky.
Yeah.
You just got dick magicked. Bye.
See ya.
Oh man, not again.
Tune in next time for another edge of your seat adventure in space with the Backwater Bastards.
If you enjoy listening, but also have eyes, check out our Instagram, where we post drawings, illustrations, character art from our adventures. Backwater_bastards. Check out our